'Tis the season. There's still games on Saturday, though, and we're still here. That's right. We're Sleepers Media previewing the biggest games of the college basketball season. Biggest game of this weekend, Arizona, Florida Atlantic, continuing Arizona's gauntlet schedule of the last 2 weeks. Truly just an insane stretch of games for the team that has kind of fluctuated from people speculating they're the best team in the country to, well, no, they lost to Purdue, to, well, KenPom still has them second in the country, one spot ahead of Purdue, even after losing to them. But they blew out Wisconsin. Then the Purdue game that was a back and forth insane game that turned into a loss. Alabama comeback win. Now here's Florida Atlantic kind of neutral. Florida Atlantic is really, really good. You and I have fallen in love with this team. There is no skepticism towards who these guys are anymore after last season's run to the Final Four. This game is being played in lovely Las Vegas, as Greg Hoops Peterson would say. Cart, what do you expect from this matchup?
I mean, I'm expecting fireworks, to be honest with you. You have this Florida Atlantic team who is averaging right around 84 points a game, shooting 51% from the field, just around 39% from three on a high number of and high volume of attempts. I think it's going to be a really good matchup. They rebound extremely well, which Arizona also does pretty well. Not necessarily the best, but they have the bodies to do it. And you just have two teams that are really going to be, I think, high motor and high octane offenses. I mean, Arizona's averaging just over 92 points a game with similar field goal percentages. I think it's going to come down to who can get more stops. And I don't want to jump the gun any bit on this, but if I had to bank on a team to get some more stops, I think I lean Arizona to do that in this game. I'm not sure if you feel differently.
I'm really torn on this. I think Arizona has the better defense. Like metrically, they definitely have the better defense. They have one of the best defenses in the country, and it's hard to be such a highly ranked defense. They're second on KenPom in that area. When you play so fast and you're so good offensively, because to me, like if you want to get up and down and you're such a good offense, it almost just turns into like you take some possessions off because you're so focused on forcing the pace and you want to outscore people. Arizona does both, which is really, really impressive. It's rare and it makes them a national championship contender. Florida Atlantic's defense is the lowest ranked unit in this game. They have a top 10 offense. They're 38th defensively on KenPom. With that said, I kind of like Florida Atlantic in this spot, just going personnel wise. Look, Florida Atlantic has beaten a lot of the good teams that they've played. They have wins against top 100 opponents in Butler, Texas A&M, Virginia Tech, Liberty, St. Bonaventure. I know none of those teams are world beaters, but like you beat Virginia Tech by 34 points on a neutral. You have my attention. Like you hang 96 on Texas A&M. You have my attention. This is a really good basketball team. And they have two losses this season. One was to Bryant at home on a night where, Florida Atlantic is one of the best three-point shooting teams in the sport. They shot 5 for 30 from three. Total fluke loss there. Illinois kind of out physical them, I thought. Down the stretch of that game, Terrence Shannon took it over. He had 33 points. Marcus Damask really got whatever he wanted in that game. So to me, this is a game where like Arizona's offensive players are probably going to be able to assert their will. But I like Vlad Golden. I think he can hang with Umar Ballo. Like this is not a game where Ballo's just going to punk some nobodies at center. Vlad Golden will be up for the challenge. And honestly, on paper, I think there's an argument that John L. Davis is the best guard in this game.
Ooh, really?
I said it. I said it.
Okay, see, I wouldn't go there. I would not go there. I wouldn't get all the way there. But I also don't think you're wrong for having that take because John L. Davis is damn good. I mean, this Florida Atlantic team is damn good. I was more, if I had the better ability to work the analytics pages, because I'm new to it. For anyone who doesn't know out there, I just accepted KenPom and those pages into my life where I use them in my everyday life. I was a little bit anti-KenPom for a little bit. I let it go eventually. If I could get my on and off splits with Golden on the floor, I would absolutely love to see that because in that Illinois game, it wasn't necessarily to me that Terrence Shannon Jr. was making a lot of plays. He did make a lot of plays. I think he did take over that game as well as Marcus Damas did. But at the same time, Golden getting in foul trouble gave them a one-way ticket to kind of go to the rim and make plays at the rim. So I think it's going to be imperative that Golden stays out of foul trouble in this game. Umar Ballo can be the type of big to to draw fouls with his physicality. So I think that Golden has to make sure that he's conscious about not getting in foul trouble because I think he can dominate the paint on both ends of the floor. I still for some reason, you brought it up earlier in the season, Greg. Why Golden doesn't get mentioned with the best centers in the country, I will never know. Everyone wants to bring up the other centers, and don't get me wrong, like I love the Hunter Dickinsons of the world. I love, the Klingons and the Kalkbrenners and the Edys of the world. Golden's right. Golden is in the group with those guys. Like he should be mentioned with those guys. He's that good. So yeah, I think if he stays on the floor, I think that'll be massive for Florida Atlantic's chances. Just because he can make things difficult for Arizona at the rim.
Card, if you don't mind, could I hit my falsetto real quick?
Please.
It's the golden
Uh,
hour. I'm in. Vlad Golden's gonna have a big game. I'm in on this guy. I may or may not might have an edit ready with that song playing over slow motion clips of Vlad Golden. Yeah, I think he's up for the challenge. I think he's really good, man. He has a bunch of double figure scoring games. He scored 19 like a bunch of times this year. He's just consistent. Like he doesn't need to be the focal point of this offense to go out and score in the high teens every single game, block a couple shots, pull in 10 rebounds. Like he's really, really steady. So let's go positional grouping here because you balked at my theory that John L. Davis might be the best guard in this game. Who's the best guard in this game?
Kylan Boswell.
Where is John L. Davis to you, like down the list? Like, does it go Boswell, then Love, then somebody else, then Davis, or how far off is he?
No, for me it probably goes Boswell, Davis, Love.
Okay, that's so interesting. Other people would have a totally different
I think,
approach to
yeah,
that.
I think that's my three.
Okay. All right. For the record, I'm going Davis is the best guard in this game. Who's the best wing in this game?
Oh, Elijah Martin.
Elijah Martin, without question. Who's the best big in this game?
Kashad Johnson.
Oh, you're counting him as a big, not a center?
What would you count? Like, are we going like who's the best four man on the court? Like,
No, I'm just trying to do who's the best big. Like, and I thought the answer would be either Bala or Golden.
I mean, yeah. So probably, honestly, I think that Kashad Johnson's the best big in the
Okay.
game.
All right. I would have lumped him in with the wings, and it would have been him or Elijah Martin. Take your pick.
Okay. So what you're telling me is that we're going roster by roster. There's a lot of FAU guys coming up.
All I'm saying is they're not that far off. And people love Arizona because of how complete they are, how much talent they have at multiple positions. It's any different guy can beat you any given night. I think that applies to Florida Atlantic too, is all I'm saying. Like, they're not a one-trick pony. They're not Terrence Shannon needs to go get 35 for us to win a game. John L. Davis can do it. Oh, Elijah Martin can do it. Golden's going to get his 19 and 10. By the way, we're healthy now. Nick Boyd's back. He just played his first game back from injury off the bench, 20 minutes. Looked pretty good. Brian Greenlee's been solid. Weatherspoon's been, like, they got dudes, man. That's all I'm trying to say. And I think, honestly, if there is a high major, like, blue bloody comparison for Florida Atlantic this year, I think it's Arizona. Like, I think there's a lot of similarities to how these teams want to win games, and what they're good at, quite frankly. So it should be in for a very interesting game. Ken Palm has Arizona favored by 7 in this game on the West Coast. That feels high to me. I mean, obviously, I'm alluding to the fact that I'm really confident in Florida Atlantic in this spot. I would have set this line at like 4 points max for Arizona. What do you think of the line?
Yeah, I think seven's way too high. Actually, as we've had this conversation, and this is one of the good things I think of doing these previews, is we do our own like research coming into it and what we know about the teams. And then like as you and I talk about it and talk through it, things start to somewhat change. And not because I'm flip-floppy, just because it's like we're bouncing ideas and thoughts about the teams off each other. And I think that I might lean Florida Atlantic just to win this game outright. I think they need it. I'm not saying they need it in a sense of like they have to win it or not, but like, is their best win right now Texas A&M on a neutral?
Yes.
Okay, they dropped the chance to beat Illinois, where they could have won that bet. Like this would be a marquee out of conference, non-conference win against what I consider Arizona to be a top 5 team in the country. So you know how we have discussions about teams that have a chance to make a run and have a chance to win it all. Florida Atlantic doesn't really get mentioned as much. It was like, yes, they had the hype coming in the preseason. Then you go into are they as good as you think they are? And then we kind of got to the point where we're like, oh, damn, this Florida Atlantic team is really good. Like that last year wasn't a fluke. This is a really good basketball team. And I could see them coming out in this game wanting to send a message that they are for real and that they are a good basketball team, and they had the guys to do it. So I think that 1-7 is too high. I think this is going to be like a probably between 3 to 6 point game, I would say. But I think I would lean Florida Atlantic to actually get this win outright.
Wow. Okay.
I think I'm getting there.
I guess I'm there. I guess we'll go consensus, you and I. Let me just say this because I don't feel like we've given enough love to Arizona. They're playing great basketball. The comeback against Alabama was fantastic. The Purdue loss, like, I'm not concerned about that at all. It's Purdue. They're dominant. And when they've played lesser opponents, they've essentially blown them all out. I think Florida Atlantic's the second best team they've played. That I know they've played Duke. I know they've played Michigan State. I know they've played Wisconsin. I know they've played Alabama. All those wins look good in hindsight for sure. I think Florida Atlantic is the second best team they've played, other than Purdue. I think Arizona is the better basketball team. I think Florida Atlantic wins this game for a lot of the reasons you just said. Also, I'll throw my thing out, Cart. I think this is a little bit of a schedule loss, my friend. We've seen Arizona now literally in a span of 14 days leading up to Christmas have to host Wisconsin, go to Indianapolis to play Purdue, go back to Arizona to in a neutral site, not at home though, to play Alabama, and now to Vegas to play Florida Atlantic. I know that's not like back and forth between the coasts, but that's a lot of high-profile games against high-profile opponents. That takes a lot of preparation in a 14-day span. Florida Atlantic has had a week off to prepare for this game. You know I love my rest time. You know I love my preparation time. So
Big rest guy.
I'm a trusted Dusty May. My guy has the kids ready. Florida Atlantic gets a big marquee win. And in the end, it doesn't change how I feel about Arizona at all. I still think they're a top 3 team in the country. I just think Florida Atlantic's a team to be reckoned with.
Can I get a score prediction?
Crazy high, like 93-89 Florida Atlantic.
93-80. Okay. I'm going 86-83 Owls game winner.
Whoa, who hits it?
Okay, actually, give me go ahead 3 by John L. Davis. Arizona has a chance to win it. And Caleb Love takes a bad one and misses it.
Ooh, okay. So you're speaking some Caleb Love drama into existence. We're long overdue for some
Yeah,
of that.
it's been nothing really has gone awry with Caleb Love, and it's almost Christmas.
Yeah, that's not okay. Not at Sleepers Enterprises. That's not how
Yeah,
this works.
no.
All right. Good luck to both these teams. I'm very excited to watch this game. I think we'll have a recap up. It honestly depends on how Christmas festivities are going for you and I. Then we're taking a break until games return in the middle of next week. But enjoy this game, everybody. Thanks for watching our previews and recaps on the Sleepers Media channel.